Flooring, sculpturing, decorating, arts and crafts, textile and felt processing, hunting, falconry, smithworks and jewelry take care of our national identity in the KazArt program.
Vladimir Eifert was deported to the Karaganda region in 1941 and started to draw his composition in this location. One of his compositions is Evening of Karaganda, that he drew in 1948. This, the White House's compositions fragment, described the daily life in the Karaganda region. Also, Vladimir Eifert was an artist who contributed to the formation of the first art studio in the Karaganda region. He taught more than 100 students there. Vladimir Eifert is an artist who left his own signature in the history of Kazakh fine art. He was born in the Saratov province in Russia in 1884. He graduated from the Higher State Artistic and Technical Workshop, Higher Art School in Astrakhan. In 1936 to 1939, he was the director of fine arts of the National Museum, named after A.S. Pushkin in Moscow. During the war, a forced deportation policy took force for all people, and it happened with the artist's family. The representative of the German nation, Eifert, in frosty weather with only thin clothing, was deported to the Karaganda region. Later, he moved to the city of Karaganda and lived there until the last day of his life. Vladimir Eifert used the impressionistic method very well in his beach composition, which was drawn in 1932. The composition of the picture was drawn exquisitely and quality was refined. A picture is typical for the summer season with bright colors. Through the different colors, the artist could show the mood of the people there, which could show his singularity. When the artist lived in Moscow, he was a member of the Bird of Happiness Landscape Painters Society. The traditional Russian art of painting, artists focused mainly on landscapes and still life genres. The artist had created magnificent compositions in these two genres upon arrival to Kazakhstan. Vladimir Eifert died at the age of 76 in 1960. Russian artists started to arrive in the Kazakh land in the 1930s, and among them was Alexander Ritich. It was a time when Kazakh fine art was at the beginning of development. Ritich and other artists contributed to the formation of Kazakh fine art. Alexander Ritich arrived in Kazakhstan in 1933. The artist's arrival to Almaty was interesting as the architect came to the construction of a tobacco factory in Almaty. In the 30s, Ritich was recognized differently as one of the most educated artists of Almaty.
В свое время он закончил историко-филологический факультет университета, и затем где-то в десятые годы 20 века приезжал.
After graduation from the Department of History and Philology, he went to Munich in 1910 and studied there at the Academy of Fine Arts. During his study at the Academy, he received knowledge from well-known German artists Franz von Stuck and German Impressionism representative Heinrich Johann von Zugel in their painting workshops. In 1916, Ritich completed the Academy of Arts and also received knowledge from the Polytechnic School of Munich. During his studies at the Polytech School, he understood widely the specialty of architect.
И параллельно он учится еще в политехнической школе, тоже в Мюнхене. И именно в политехнической школе он приобретает навыки профессионального архитектора.
The artist participated in the construction of the Almaty tobacco factory. Probably in that time we were looking for an architect to receive knowledge in Munich. After construction of the factory, the artist who stayed here started his creative work.
Александр Ритих участвовал во всех мероприятиях Союза художников Казахстана. Так, например, стоит вспомнить первый конкурс, организованный Союзом художников. Это конкурс, посвященный Абаю в 1934 году. То есть цель конкурса – создать произведение искусства.
Alexander Ritić did not miss any events which were organized by the artist community. For example, in 1934, the Artist Union organized a competition regarding the great Abai creative works. It was a very difficult and responsible competition. Therefore, the artists had to draw the poet's image in their own way. The next event in the history of Kazakh art was a 10-day Kazakh art in Moscow in 1936. Special exhibition was organized, and it was the first time when Kazakh artist works were exhibited there. Ritić exhibited his works and initiated this event. The artist was recognized with his organizational skills and lived in Kazakhstan until 1945.
Ритих не только участвовал как художник в этой выставке, но и был организатором этой выставки. То есть он обладал еще большими организационными способностями. Вот. И после завершения строительства табачной фабрики Ритих остался в Казахстане и проработал здесь 12 лет до 1945 года.
Ritić is an author of pictorial art, architecture, and monumental, ornamental compositions as well. It has started the All-Union Agriculture Exhibition in Moscow in 1938. All republics are involved in the construction of a large complex. Each country built their own pavilion there. Ritić was responsible for Kazakhstan's agricultural pavilion design work. He was an artist from Kazakhstan who decorated the building with great historical importance.
И в 1939 году состоялось открытие Всесоюзной сельскохозяйственной выставки, и для павильона Ритих оформил целый ряд произведений декоративных.
All-Union Agricultural Exhibition achievements were opened in 1939. Ritić decorated the pavilion in an agricultural decorate theme and used other masterpieces of decorative works. Unfortunately, after the war in 1954, the exhibition was reconstructed, and each country recreated their pavilion. And in that moment, the artist's works were missed. We can see them only in photos that were stored in the archives of Moscow and Almaty museums.
Многие республики перестраивали свои павильоны, и, к сожалению, произведения Ритиха были утрачены, и мы можем судить о них только по случайно сохранившимся фотографиям в архивах Москвы и Алматы.
In general, Ritić was a talented and comprehensive artist. He handled all genres of art in the 1930s. At that time, Kazakh art was not formed, and we can say as Kazakh art was the founder of different genres. Ritić is the first artist who worked on the theme of still life and battle genre.
Дело в том, что натюрморт как жанр не был распространен в 30-е годы, потому что идеология требовала от художников отклика на...
During the 1930s, still life genre was not widespread as a genre. The ideology topics were in another separate sphere as industry and agriculture, and in that moment they started to develop. As an example, we are not able to remember any of Ritić's compositions in the genre of still life. There are two still life compositions of the artist in the Kazakh National Art Museum named after Kosteyev. Subsequently, the artist drew them in a very high level of skill, and these paintings will always attract the attention of the viewers.
И всегда привлекают зрителя, пристальное внимание зрителей в силу того, что завораживают мастерством, высоким уровнем живописного мастерства.
His creative works have been changed often. When he studied in Munich, he took the example of his teachers and drew symbolic of European modern compositions. Over time, his drawing style turned to another way. If we talk about his works in Kazakhstan, first of all, the artist researched academic order of the stuff he saw after he drew them. His works in still life genre were done in an academic way. The artist tried to show the beauty of nature in his still life compositions. In general, the artist used material structure of the opposite thing in still life paintings.
Например, вводя такие разные по своей материальности предметы, что мы видим и у Ритиха. Основой для предметов у него служит стол с такой полированной блестящей поверхностью. Это дает ему возможность продемонстрировать свое мастерство в передаче полированного дерева. Здесь присутствует чаша фарфоровая, которая имеет совсем другие материальные особенности. Это дает ему возможность показать...
Ritik used different object materials in the still life genre. Here the artist put objects on a shiny table, gave him the opportunity to demonstrate polished wood. There is a porcelain bowl which is different materials as it gives him the opportunity to show cold porcelain. And the background context shows harmony to the geometrical objects. In the background context, we can see some works of Kazakh masters, a fragment of them weaving a carpet. Through this fragment, the artist showed where he lives and where he works. Subsequently, the main objects are pears in still life genre. An artist puts them in different order and is drawn in different perspectives. Through the cuts of the pear, the artist would like to see the admiration from his viewers to these subjects and showed interest as well.
Художник их по-разному компонует, изображает, казалось бы, один предмет груши в разных ракурсах, в разных компоновках, разрезает фрукты. И для того, чтобы мы полюбовались и формой этих предметов, цветом этих предметов и почувствовали весомость этих предметов.
Alexander Ritik had drawn a lot of compositions while he lived in Almaty. People who lived in that moment told us that an artist did not spend a lot of time drawing a sketch. He had drawn his composition in a quick way. Probably from this point, an artist participated in all exhibitions. Unfortunately, for various reasons, we have not reached all the works of the artist. There was kept Ritik's monumental composition, Crossing. It is not difficult to notice the nomad Russian artist's typical plot. They showed in their composition a condition of people and discussed the main tasks and problems of society.
На первом плане мы видим изображение отца и сына. Это представители единоличных хозяйств.
We see the first plot of father and son who were working. Artwork was created by using opposite colors between each other. The artist showed the first plan darker, a symbol of the past, and landscape in horizon is drawn with light colors. It has its own reason. Through light colors, the artist represents the perfect future. The future of population was connected with the newly created state farms and collective farms.
То есть это светлое будущее страны, это светлое будущее людей, которые уже будут работать на благо Родины в колхозах и совхозах.
A letter was received from Moscow, Alexandra Panyutina, in 2011 to the Museum of Kasteyev. There was mention that Ludmila was the only daughter of Ritik. Before she died, she left all her father's heritage to her friend. When Ludmila's friend also died, she left them to her granddaughter, Alexandra Panyutina. Panyutina noticed as Ritik had done a lot of things for the prosperity of Kazakh land and decided to give some compositions to the Kazakh National Art Museum named after A. Kasteyev. There are 4 compositions that she gave to the museum, and one of the compositions is what you have seen, and this is an artist's portrait which is in front of you.
Оказался портрет его жены, которая сопровождала его на всех этапах его творческой деятельности. Оказалась работа...
One of the pictures we received was an artist's close person, a portrait of his wife. She was always with him. The second composition is titled as Mountain Landscape. Here the nature of the Kazakh steppe was described. An artist's third composition was Morning. As we understood, this composition was drawn by the artist when he studied at the Art Academy in Munich. Owing to these works, we have known about the creative works of Alexander Ritik.
Его учебы в Мюнхене, в Мюнхенской академии художеств. И, конечно, это расширило наше представление о творчестве Александра Ритиха.
Today in our program, we talked about works of the well-known artists Vladimir Eifert and Alexander Rittich. Their works will continue to be researched as they have drawn some of the most significant compositions in Kazakh fine art.